All right, so lesson 117, equations with x squared and the Pythagorean theorem. So first we've got p squared equals 36, and we want to isolate the p. We want to get the p by itself. So to undo something that's squared, we, Nick, do what? Yes. Okay, so I'm going to square root both sides, and when you do the square root of p squared, it undoes the square, and we get just p. And on the right-hand side, the square root of 36 is 6. But what else besides 6, when we square it, is equal to 36? If it's in parentheses. Yes, negative 6. Okay? So there are two solutions when we solve something that is squared. So it's going to always be plus and minus 6. So this is important, okay? It's always plus and minus when you take the square root of 6, because 6 squared is 36 and negative 6 squared is 36. Okay? Always two solutions when we take the square root of something. Plus and minus. All right? So let's try another one. X squared equals 100. So the step that we need to show, Coleman, would be what? Yep. We have to show that we square root both sides. So this undoes this. And Maddie, what's the square root of 100? 10. And Anna, what do we have to remember every time we take the square root and we're solving for this? Okay, plus and minus. Because what is positive 10 squared? 100. And what is negative 10 squared? It is also 100. So, always plus minus. All right? Okay, a little review of the Pythagorean theorem since we did this earlier. But go ahead and write it down. So, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And remember, it's really important you have to know which side is the hypotenuse. So, we've got our right angle here. So, there's the hypotenuse. Riley, are you writing this down? And we have to know which side is C. So, Bella, which side is always C? Good. The longest side, which is the hypotenuse. A and B can be either one, but C has to be the longest side or the hypotenuse. All right, so let's find M using the Pythagorean theorem. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So Thomas, 2, 3, or M, which one of those sides has to be C in the formula? Good. Okay, these can go either way. I'm going to label the legs A and B. And we're going to plug in 2 squared plus 3 squared equals M squared. Okay, Will, what should we do next? Solve the things. What would be that exact next step? Okay, how? What would you write down next? Okay, good. 4 plus 9 equals M squared. So exponents go next. And then Haley, what would you write down next? Very good. And now we solve for M squared just like we were doing before. So Will, what step do I need to show? Good. Equals M. Now, normally it's plus minus, but when we're doing Pythagorean theorem, we are finding a length. Okay, if you were to ever measure anything, are you going to be able to get a negative distance? No. So normally plus minus when you're just doing algebra, right? But when you're actually finding a distance for something, it is only positive. So our answer is the square root of 13. Yeah, Harrison. Yes. Okay. One more. Let's do one more where we're missing a leg. Okay. So Harper, which side has to be C? 9. Sorry, I'm anyway. And these can be A and B. All right, so we're going to plug it into our formula. So we've got P squared plus 7 squared equals 9 squared. All right. So Aaron, what would you write for the next step? Good. Okay, Holly, what would we do next to solve? Good. So what is that, you guys? 32. All right, and the next step we would show Jaden is good. And we get the square root of 32. Okay, anybody know what number that's in between? Little review. What two numbers the square root of 32 is in between? Haley, what do you think? Yeah. Good. It's in between 25 and 36. So it's somewhere in between 5 and 6. So 5 point something would be our decimal.